rain. He got away well, but Fernando was the man on the move, and he soon gave Vettel a taster of what he had in store for him that afternoon. A lock-up from Lewis gave second place to Sebastian. Into turn one, and Fernando was still only fifth. Raikkonen proved no problem. Then a bold move on the outside of Hamilton meant the Ferrari was up to third. The Circuit de Catalunya is tough on tyres, and it wasn't long before the Mercedes were in trouble with theirs.
Temperatures rear 17, just thinking about looking after those tyres.
But it was clear they weren't the only ones struggling to make the tyres go the distance. Rosberg still led from Vettel and Alonso, while Raikkonen had lost more than enough time behind Hamilton. Lewis struggled more than his teammate and was forced to switch to a four-stop race.
What is going on with this car? No grip.
Yeah, copy that, Lewis, we hear you.
Lap 10, Vettel, Rosberg and Raikkonen all pitted. Nico and Sebastian switched to the hards, while Kimi took on another set of mediums. Alonso had stopped a lap earlier, and with a clear track ahead, he'd managed to get the jump on the Red Bull. And would soon be challenging the Mercedes. Fernando knew that Nico couldn't afford to wreck his tyres defending against him, so when an opportunity arose, he took it. Vettel had to pass Rosberg, and if Alonso thought this would buy him some time, then he was very much mistaken. Sebastian didn't hang about. A disappointing qualifying and a penalty for impeding Webber had made life difficult for Massa, but the Ferrari easily moved ahead. Guido van der Garde was in trouble.
The wheel is off. What do you want me to do? You want me to stop or come to the pit?
Okay, Guido, try to make it back. Try to make it back.
The damage to his Caterham meant he had to retire. Lap 26, Raikkonen made his second stop. He was three-stopping, while most of his rivals were making four. He rejoined fourth, just behind Vettel, and ahead of Rosberg. But the Red Bull wasn't so easy on the tyres and was struggling to make a three-stop work, while his team had feedback.
Sebastian, left front is critical. Left front is what you need to look after.
Raikkonen was on the mediums, Vettel on the hards, and the 2007 world champion knew what he had to do. He'd made several attempts, but Sebastian knew he had to play the long game and get to the checkered flag. It was a disastrous race for Hulkenberg. He'd just made his third stop, had to come back in for a front wing change, then his early release meant he crashed into Verne and was given a stop-go penalty. Back at the front, Alonso chased Raikkonen. Fernando had just stopped for a third time, but both drivers still had one more stop to make. With fresher tyres, he just drove right round him and into the lead. The crowd went wild. Two former teammates went head-to-head. Lewis wasn't happy with the tyres, whereas Button's car wasn't as quick as he would like. But it was the McLaren that got the upper hand. It was a remarkable feat, having started fifth on the grid. For the third time on Spanish soil, Alonso took the victory, with Raikkonen nearly 10 seconds behind. Teammate Massa's third place was his first visit to the podium this year. Mercedes had faded out of contention after their first front-row lockout since China 2012. Button recovered after a very poor opening lap, while Gutierrez was unlucky not to score his first point in 11th. 4 podiums out of 5 for Kimi moved him just 4 points behind Vettel after a quiet afternoon for the championship leaders. Ferrari and Lotus managed the tyre degradation best, but Grosjean's rear suspension failure meant Lotus dropped back in the constructors'.